Good morning, Peter. Would you like to say to us or explain to us why you think the South Australian bid came ahead of the Sunderland Recovery Foundation bid in 2010, please?
Yeah, I can give you a very definite reason, one of the many why I understand the Australian bid was preferred over the Sunderland bid. Fiona Hislop, of course, isn't a shipbuilder or an engineer, and she needed to listen to the expert advice of many people before she made her decision. And one of the expert advice givers was Martin Heighton, the senior director of the National Historic Ships, and he advised in a 4-page letter to Fiona Hislop, obviously the Scottish Culture and External Affairs Secretary, the reason why he believed the ship would be better off in South Australia is because he said the most important thing about that beautiful composite clipper ship is her iron frames, and actually not the timber. I disagree about that, but nevertheless he said that the climate in South Australia would be far better at preserving the wrought iron frames than it would be in Sunderland, where it's salty and briny and damp and rainy. And he's absolutely wrong, because we're still in Knowles Cemetery, and this beautiful grave surround here around one of the stones in the cemetery, and the many of these beautiful ornate wrought iron grave surrounds is wrought iron.
Yeah, there are quite a few of them.
And just about 200 yards down the road from here is the great briny North Sea, and very often this graveyard is drenched in brine, in salt, and so is this wrought iron. And you can see here on this particular grave surround that the detail is still very fine and solid. There's nothing wrong with this wrought iron. Martin Heighton was wrong to advise that the ship, because of her wrought iron frame, would better survive the conditions in South Australia. Wrought iron survives very well in Sunderland. So that's one reason why Fiona Hislop wavered in her decision who to award preferred bidder status to, thanks to Martin Heighton.
Is there anything else you disagree with?
Yeah, there's hundreds of things I disagree with.
Would you pick another main point, and we'll hear what it is?
Well, there were 13 conditions attached that both S.C.A.R.F and C.SCO, the Australian groups, had to come up to assist Fiona Hislop to make her decision. And the first 3 conditions on that long list of 13, the most important one was site, location for the ship, followed by number 2 and 3, political support and public support. And the Australians do not, even though the ship is on her way across the Atlantic right now, they don't actually have a site, a definite site for that ship. They don't know if that ship is going to go to Port Adelaide or if she's going to go to a backwater site. That's their terminology and not mine, which is in Largs North, some outpost far away from Port Adelaide. They don't have a location for the ship, and we do in Sunderland. We've got several fantastic locations for the ship. All of them are in the centre of the city, and they will be visible by many thousands of people every day. You cannot.
Will you show me where these are, Peter?
We will be having a look later on this beautiful sunny day.
Would you like to tell us where they are?
Well, I think far better than telling you where they are is by showing you where they are.
It'll be a different video, Peter. Would you just tell us as an introduction to the other videos?
We've got a site directly underneath Wearmouth Bridge on the south side of the river, the so-called Austin's pontoon site, and in addition to that, directly across the river from there virtually, we've got the site where the ship was built, near the National Glass Centre. That's the sunny side of the river. And we've got a third serious possible position for the ship, which we'll be seeing later on, which will be Pallion Shipyard. a great covered shed, which would be, in my opinion, the best place to position the ship for the first 2 years. So Sunderland's got fantastic locations to recover the ship to. The Australians don't have one.
Peter, why are we going down to the mouth of the weir?
We're going down to the mouth of the weir because that's where the ship will be entering into when we bring her back. It's nice to see where the ship's going to be coming back into.
And she'll be on the present pontoon that she's on?
No, she won't, because the MV Palampur, which is the present platform that she's on now, she's no longer on the Dutch barge. She's welded down.
She's not on the Dutch barge?
No, I don't believe so.
Mm-hmm.
The Dutch have claimed her barge back for use for other ships. She's on the deck of the Palampur, and it may well be that a similar kind of vessel like the MV Palampur will be the recovery barge that we'll need to bring the ship back from Port Adelaide.
Thank you, Peter.